Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss one of the most important chapter of organic chemistry, that is aldehyde and ketone. And under that, in this video I am going to discuss about the properties and the reactions of aldehyde and ketone. In this single video only you will be able to learn that what are the possible reactions that an aldehyde and ketone that are going to perform. So without any further delay, let's get started. Now the first thing what we are going to study here is about the properties of aldehyde and ketone. So under that, let us first discuss about the bond polarity and the dipole moment. And once that is done, we will compare the boiling point of the aldehyde and ketone with other species like carboxylic acid, alcohol of comparable molecular weight. Now one thing is very clear, since the structure of aldehyde and ketone do contain double bond O, and because of the double bond O, if I'll consider like this RCR double bond O, then we can draw its possible resonance structure, although that is not as stable as the very first one is, but yes, this is again a possible structure. Here high electronegative atom oxygen is acquiring negative charge and the carbon with the sextet. Now if you'll ask that out of 1 and 2 which is more stable, so undoubtedly answer is 1 will be more stable than the second. These two canonical forms or resonating structure, 1 is more stable than 2, but the second have considerable importance. Why? And it have a significant contribution in the hybrid structure. So hybrid structure, if you want to draw, it will appear as if like this, that RCR O dot 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 partial negative and partial positive. So you can see there is a difference in polarity, partial positive and partial negative, difference in electronegativity of carbon and oxygen, and because of that this ketone or aldehyde, if you replace R with hydrogen, that is having a good polarity. Now when you are going to compare the different thing, when you are going to compare the different aldehyde and ketone, so let us see that what will be the dipole moment values. Like this one, if you are going to compare formaldehyde with acetaldehyde and that with C double bond O CH3. Okay, before I further proceed in this lecture, I would request you to take a pen and paper and please note down this whole thing whichever I am going to teach, because this is very very important and this contains the fundamental of the whole carbonyl chemistry. So now what will be the order of dipole moment for formaldehyde, for acetaldehyde and acetone? Now in first, by looking at it, if you see, there is a contribution of plus I from the CH3 in both of these cases. It will donate and oxygen is pulling, so it will have more and more negative. Here it is donated from one side, and as you know, the inductive effect of hydrogen is considered to be 0, so there is no donation. So obviously if you look at the structure, you can very easily say that the charge separation, means plus negative on oxygen and positive on this, will be more here because of additional contribution of this CH3, and that is the reason that if you go for dipole moment comparison, then this acetone have more than acetaldehyde and that have more than formaldehyde. Now, so it is very clear that all are polar. Now let us compare their boiling point with the corresponding and relatively similar molecular weight other organic molecule like alcohol, carboxylic acid, ether, alkyl halide. Now, when we are going to compare comparable molecular weight, let me consider this thing CH3COOH. Now, what is special in that? It have the carbonyl center, it is polar. At the same time, you can see one excellent thing is present here is hydrogen bonding, because OH is there. So now it can form a bond, hydrogen bond with other carboxylic acid, and that makes it quite difficult to evaporate. And that's why the boiling point of the carboxylic acid is highest among all the organic molecule. Thereafter, which will come? Alcohol, for the same reason, again for the same reason, because it can also form the hydrogen bond. Now if I'll compare with aldehyde and ketone, so yes, as you see, the polarity of ketone is more, that's why the dipole moment of ketone will be more. Thereafter, obviously aldehyde. And thereafter, what will be the situation? Yes, ether. The dipole moment here is not as strong as in the case of aldehyde and ketone. And thereafter, there will be alkyl halide. So this will be the order of relative boiling point order. Now the boiling point portion is over. Now let us compare their solubility. Now obviously, which will be more soluble? If I'll ask, which will be more soluble, aldehyde or ketone? First think by yourself. What do you think? According to you, aldehyde will be more soluble or ketone will be more soluble? So if you look at the polarity, bond polarity, from here you can easily guess that a ketone is more soluble because it is more polar. So solubility wise, ketone is more than that of aldehyde. So if you compare CH3CH2 C double bond OH with a similar molecular weight, or let us drop one of the carbon, so CH3 C double bond O CH3. So if you compare their boiling point, boiling point also, this CH3CO CH3 is higher, but if I compare the solubility, then this is higher. Now the next question is solubility, the comparison between these two. Now if you compare the solubility of the aldehyde and ketone with other functional group like alcohol, CH3CH2OH, then in that case obviously this alcohol will be better as compared to this. In which medium I am talking about the solubility? I am talking about the solubility in water. Okay, by default, if there is no solvent mentioned, whenever I am saying solubility, I am referring in water, right? So solubility in water, the order will be this, just because of very plain reason. It is having more bond polarity. Now if you compare with the other functional group, as I told you, ketone is more in water than aldehyde. Understood, the point is understood of comparable molecular weight. Now if you compare this with alcohol, so obviously the alcohol will be much better because of it can form hydrogen bond with water. At the same time, alright, many more hydrogen bond. And if you compare the solubility with the carboxylic acid, then that will be even more soluble than alcohol. So dipole moment and solubility are very relative. More the dipole moment, more will be the polarity, and more polar will dissolve more, provided it can form hydrogen bond also. Now the solubility is over. Now let us discuss about the reactivity of aldehyde and ketone. Now when it comes to reactivity, probably aldehyde and ketone are the most versatile functional group that we have in organic chemistry. Why I am using this word? Because when you start comparing, it have almost everything for nucleophile, for electrophile. It can even undergo condensation. So let me tell you with an example. Like this CH3 C double bond O is there. One of the best thing that it have is bond polarity, partial negative and partial positive. So naturally it can attract nucleophile at the carbon center. Now the next question is, sir, you use the word that it can even react with electrophile. So how it will attract electrophile? How electrophile can be? So my dear, this CH3 C double bond O, because of its tautomeric effect, it can undergo into CH2 double bond CH and OH, means enolic form. Although the percentage of aldehyde will be much more than the percentage of enol content, but electrophilic attack is possible even in this case also. How it will attack? So this lone pair, when it will come back, so this will acquire, this bond will be acquired, and if electrophile is here, so this bond is going to attack on electrophile. So means electrophilic center is this carbon. So what will be the product if you are going to attack? So it is going to be E and CH. Thereafter, as per the necessity, you can deprotonate it and you are going to get CH2E. Okay. So when nucleophile will attack, then what will happen? CH3 CH O minus and here nucleophile. Look at this tetrahedral species. Now this O negative, depending on the medium, it can take up H plus ion and this. So nucleophilic attack is also possible, electrophilic attack is also possible. One very important reaction that aldehyde and ketone gives, that is condensation reaction. So now what is condensation reaction? So suppose you are having some reasonable base in the solution. Now the base, like OH minus, can even take out this hydrogen, and the moment it will take the hydrogen, this CH2 negative it will generate, and it can once again undergo into conjugation. So we are going to get this. Now how this is going to react? There are many ways by which it can react. Number one, suppose you are having some other aldehyde in the same mixture. Say for example you are having formaldehyde. Then it is a very good nucleophile for that. CH2 minus C double bond OH. Look at this, as a nucleophile it can attack. And thereafter the product form after the product formation, suppose if it is attacking here, then we will get HCO minus and CH2 C double bond. From water it will be protonated and we will get this structure OH and CH double bond O. Now if you remember that whenever we have double bond O and next to it we are having alpha hydrogen, which is the carbon is sp3 hybridized, and even if poor leaving group is also attached like OH, fluorine, this molecule readily undergo elimination, beta elimination. This hydrogen will take out, this OH minus will take out this hydrogen, it is going to generate CH2 negative and C double bond OH, and it will attack in this. So even at room temperature this reaction is going to happen. So it is following which mechanism? It is known as even Cb elimination through conjugate base, because this is carbon ion is developed. So through even Cb this product will form, which is alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde, or if there is ketone then. So with whole thing what I was trying to tell you, how much versatile this aldehyde and ketones are when it comes to reactivity. So you can attack a nucleophile, you can attack an electrophile, even alpha hydrogen. By removal of alpha hydrogen, finally it is giving a condensation reaction, and this itself is acting as a nucleophile for other carbonyl groups. So all these three reactions we will study in detail, but first I would like to discuss about the nucleophilic reaction today. So with different nucleophile we are going to discuss today. Now let us take the very first reaction, the most common thing, because we are going to add them into water. Water will be acting as a solvent. Then we need to first see whether it will react with water or not, and if it is reacting, then what will be the product that we are going to form. So before I should begin, I would like to introduce you the structure of the carbonyl, so that you should know how it is going to attack. So this is carbon, here we are having oxygen, you know there is a pi bond, and wherever there is a pi there must be pi star also, bonding and anti-bonding orbital. So if I will show you the whole orbital structure, then it will look like this. These are some R and R dash group, and this is sigma bond between carbon and oxygen. This is pi, which is a bonding, we are having 2 electron, and then the anti-bonding which is vacant will appear like this. Now this is very, very important to understand one point, that this is not perpendicular. Whenever we are having vacant orbital, this is vacant, pi star is vacant, this is pi star. Anti-bonding molecular orbital. It is vacant, my dear. So whenever nucleophile will attack, because in many cases, if you look at the book, you will not get the clarity that from where the nucleophile is attacking. Like in the previous case, how I showed you like this, I am attacking like this and this. So it is not giving a clear picture that from which angle it is going to attack. So it is very, very important to understand the inclination of this pi star is somewhere, if you look at from this bond, it is somewhere near to 107 degree. Somewhere close to 107 degree. Somewhere close to 107, not exactly at 90, and you can understand it also, because bonding, when p orbital used to combine, bonding used to incline towards each other, whereas anti-bonding orbitals are somewhat away from the center. So naturally this angle will be more, right, close to 107 degree. So where the nucleophilic attack will take place? So nucleophile is going to attack in this orbital, in the vacant orbital. So it is going to attack like this. So from the above the plane or below the plane, answer is equal possibility is there from here also and from here. So above and below, it can attack from either direction, but it will never attack from the back side of this oxygen. Look at this angle, it will not attack. So please keep this in mind, that the nucleophile used to approach at an angle close to 107 degree from the oxygen, and which can attack from above and below the plane. Now if both the attack is possible, above and below, so let us look at what we are going to get once the nucleophile, general nucleophilic mechanism for general nucleophilic reaction. Right? Mechanism for general nucleophilic addition. How it is going to react? So let us consider CH3 H double bond O, and let us take some nucleophile with NU. Now once it will attack, as I told you, that both the possibility is there, it can attack from above and below, here or here. So once nucleophile will attack, if you look at the structure that we are going to get after that, you will understand the importance of what I am going to say. Now is it a chiral molecule or not? Yes, this is a chiral molecule. Now if it is chiral molecule, is it going to give us a pure chiral molecule, or it is going to give a racemic mixture? Answer is, because it is planar, so attack can take place from either direction, so it is going to give us equal amount of dextro and levo product. So that is really important. I am going to show you in the Fischer projection form that the product of this reaction will be O minus, CH3, H and nucleophile, along with, so racemic mixture we are going to get O minus nucleophile. Further what will happen? Racemic mixture. Further, what will happen? So water is there in the solvent, so it will take up, and you are going to get this OH nucleophile CH3H plus just the enantiomeric pair of this OH nucleophile CH3 and H. So this is how the general nucleophilic reaction will happen. Now if you look at the whole process, let me once again dictate you. We are having certain challenges in that. Number one, let us re-look the whole thing. CH3 double bond OH when reacting with nucleophile, then it is forming CH3 COH and nucleophile and hydrogen. Number one is when nucleophile will approach here, then obviously it will be influenced by the steric hindrance. So that is one problem. So right now I am interested in factors affecting a rate of nucleophilic attack. How fast it is going to react, how slow it is going to react, that is what we need to monitor here. So the very first thing is steric hindrance at the carbon where nucleophile is going to attack. It is influenced by the steric hindrance. Right, the very first factor is steric hindrance. Decreases the rate of nucleophilic attack. And the number two, if you look at this, if you look at thermodynamic aspect, can't you see the two molecule combining together and becoming one molecule? So the overall entropy is decreasing. And now if you go through the Gibbs energy equation, then delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So if delta S is negative, then look at this, what we are going to get, the outcome of it. Delta S is negative, so this negative and negative will become positive. So basically this entropy factor is not supporting this reaction. And since the entropy factor is not supporting this reaction, what might be the outcome? This is highly reversible in nature, huge tendency to come back. So that's why most of the reaction where the nucleophilic attack is taking place here is reversible in nature. I'll quote one by one, but it is reversible in nature. But there are few which is not reversible. So delta S is negative, delta G. So we need to monitor this factor also whenever it is possible. Now by taking care of this, if we are going to discuss the relative rate, suppose I am having aldehyde and under that I am having formaldehyde, then I am having acetaldehyde, okay, then suppose I am having ketone. Now what will be the relative reactivity of all three? Now this do not have any hindrance, electronic factor is obviously common, Here also, if you look at electronic factor is common, double bond O is there, but hindrance is more and more. So if hindrance is more, so nucleophile is an electron rich species. When it will approach close to it, it will be repelled by them. So that is the reason why formaldehyde is much more reactive than acetaldehyde, and it is much more reactive than acetone. Okay, so after these two factors, one third factor is also very important, which is electronic factor. And what does it mean? Means if you look at this center, let us look at the comparison between these two. This aldehyde and this carboxylic acid or any derivative of it. Now what do you think that the relative rate of reactivity will be? For what? Whenever I am comparing this for nucleophilic attack. So nucleophile attack here and here. What do you think? Now one of the factor that is there in the carboxylic acid which is missing here is that the carbonyl group's polarity is disturbed in the carboxylic acid. You look at this because of this conjugation. Now the one which was earlier, withdrawing the electron, the O negative, if you are not aware, oxygen is electron withdrawing group, but O negative is electron donating group. Now so that hampers the polarity most, and if the polarity of this carbon decreases, then but natural nucleophilic attack will not be very great here. So that is the reason why aldehyde and ketones are much reactive as compared to the corresponding carboxylic acid and its derivative. Much more than carboxylic acid. And it is relatively better because amide nitrogen can conjugate with C double bond O even better. Now my next question is, what about this RC double bond OCl? What about its reactivity? Now many people will say that it will be least reactive because chlorine is bigger and R is donating it. So if nucleophile will attack, but the reality is that the acyl chloride, this particular derivative, is even more reactive than aldehyde. Even more reactive than aldehyde. What is the reason behind it? Why it is so? See, what are the factors that decides the reactivity? Number one is the crowding, okay, that we have. Number two is, anyway, we cannot do anything for delta S right now here because we are taking care of that. Now the third thing is about its conjugation and maintaining the polarity. So double bond O, one thing that chlorine does is it pulls with minus I. It increases partial positive charge. And unlike this carboxylic acid and nitrogen, which are a very good when it comes to resonance, they are very good at forming the pi bond. Chlorine is not having that effective pi bond nature, because when you resonate, when you try to think about this pi bond is not very effective. So poor resonance. Poor conjugation does not supply this electron, whereas good minus I withdraws it. So overall it increases the intensity of positive charge on this carbon. So if the intensity of the positive charge on carbon increases, so it will be more reactive. So finally what we learned, that this acyl group will be most reactive when it comes to reactivity. Now there is one more group which we need to learn a little bit, and that is Yeah, let us come to the other factor. So we have discussed till now 3, let us discuss the fourth one. The fourth one is about cyclic ketone. Okay, so one very important factor in the cyclic molecule is their angular strain. Look at this, 3-membered. Now the angle that is possible in 3-membered is close to 60 degree. If it is an equilateral triangle, then it is exactly 60 degree. Now if I am attaching double bond O, look at how much strain I am trying to develop. What is the hybridization? sp2. So naturally sp2 hybridization will try to make it 120 degree, but how much angle it is giving here? Close to 60 degree. Can you see the amount of strain that it bears? So that angular strain is the main reason for the reactivity of this ketone. Now if you will keep on increasing this by putting more and more carbon inside the ring, like after 3-membered we are having 4-membered ring. Now this angle, internal angle, will be close to 90 degree. I am not saying exactly 90 degree, but close to 90 degree. And for 5-membered it will be close to 108 degree, and for 6-membered it will be 120 degree, close to 120 degree. So obviously there is no strain here, means this ketone is quite stable and happy here, whereas this one is still under the strain of 120 degree minus 108. This much strain is there, this much angular strain, 120 minus 90 degree, this much strain is there. So if you look at the strain, then the relative reactivity of cyclic ketone will be 3-membered will be most reactive, followed by the 4-member, and 6-membered is quite stable. We will look later on some data also to justify this whole thing. So yes, so strain is also very important, so affected by the angular strain. So reactivity of cyclic ketone is affected by angular strain. Now coming to the relative reaction, and what ease it is going to get when it is going to react with a nucleophile. Say for example, I am providing a nucleophilic attack, then once this bond is going to break, just look at, it will become tetrahedral species, and the moment it is tetrahedral, now the hybridization changes from sp2 to sp3. So the angle, required angle is 120, here the required angle changes how much? sp3 means close to 109 degree 28 minute. So now the difference here of the angular strain was 120 minus 60 degree strain is there, whereas if you look at here 109 degree, and here if you are supplying, I mean here this angle is close to 60 degree, so the angular strain have decreased, considerably. So yes, that's why the nucleophilic attack is more favorable here as compared to 6-membered ring. Now will it be more as compared to regular aldehyde? Yes, much more than regular aldehyde. This will be much more than regular aldehyde and ketone. right? So this is how the reactivity is affected. So once again, let us recall the whole thing. So factors affecting nucleophilic attack, undoubtedly steric factor. Number 2 is how much charge it is going to impart on this. If suppose you are attaching electron withdrawing group here, then nucleophilic attack will be better and better. Next thing is if any conjugation is disrupting the pure carbonyl nature of this, like in the case of carboxylic acid and all, then in that case it will decrease the reactivity of this. Okay. So now let us look at the overall order of the reactivity. So the overall order. For nucleophilic addition. So what is the order? So yes, RCOCl is better as compared to HC double bond OH, and this is better as compared to CH3C double bond OH, and this is better as compared to benzaldehyde, because in benzaldehyde even more chances of resonance is there little bit, but although this resonance is not very good, but yes, it will disrupt. This is far better when it comes to CH3C double bond O CH3, and this is better as compared to any derivative of carboxylic acid. Anhydride, and this is better as compared to any carboxylic acid and ester, and this is better as compared to CH3C double bond O NH2. So this is how the overall reactivity order with different aldehyde and ketone. Yes, I did not compare this with the cyclic one. So this is also very important. Sometimes directly general question used to be asked. Okay. Now once again I would like to draw your attention on this molecule RC double bond O Cl. Now is there any additional advantage apart from that it is maintaining more and more positive charge? Because there is a great difference in reactivity. The answer is yes. There is one more factor which is responsible for greater reactivity of RCOCl for a nucleophile is during this nucleophilic attack, when it forms a tetrahedral intermediate, then this is a very good leaving group. This O minus comes back and this forms C double bond O. So look at this, from sp2 from 120 degree means groups are 120 degree apart. These groups are 120 degree apart. Relatively less steric strain is there. But now when it turns into tetrahedral, then look at this, angle will be 109 degree, close to that. So more closer, groups are more closer, and if the groups are more closer, this is going to cause more and more steric repulsion. So more steric repulsion. So once this negative comes back, and because the leaving group is there, it is more stable, less steric strain, less steric repulsion, and that's why it is more stable. This luxury of leaving group is not there with any of these group apart from this, because in other cases we have hydrogen. H minus is not a very good leaving group. It's In fact, it's extremely poor leaving group. The same happens with the CH3 minus, that's also very, very poor. Somewhat this is relatively okay, that CH3 C double bond O and O, C double bond O CH3, that used to come in between, right? But just because of the conjugation, it is disrupted. There is another reason behind it. So I hope you understood this relative rate of reactivity and why RCOCl is so better, because of this special luxury. Now let us discuss the addition of water, the first nucleophile and the addition of water. The first nucleophile, addition of water, and thereafter we will go one by one. So when it comes to addition of water, then if it is CH3 C double bond O and CH3, when we try to add water, so try to think about the product. I would like to go for the mechanism first. Again, in the same way, we have C double bond O, H2O as a nucleophile. This will attack here. We are going to get this. CH3, CH3, O and OHH positive. So thereafter you can remove this proton by multiple method. You can transfer directly here, or another water molecule is going to take this, and this O negative will be taking hydrogen from another water molecule. So basically proton transfer. So we are going to get this CH3 C, CH3 OH and OH. Now just look at this. How many OH group on one carbon we have? It's 2 OH group, which is not usually very stable. So water used to remove from here. Then we are going to get once again. Now, is there any productive reaction? Answer is no. Is there any productive reaction? Answer is no. It is going to give us back this. With a very little amount, very little amount of what? With a very little amount of, I should write like this, that it goes, undoubtedly it goes here, mostly in the back, and it forms this, but once again converts back into, this is how I am going to. Now the question is, if it is the situation that this is present in as a reactant also and as a product also, then how do we know that this water actually reacts also, or is just a hypothesis? The answer is no. In many cases, and many practical evidences are there where we used to know that this particular thing used to form, this tetrahedral molecule used to form. And what are those? One of the best way of judging this is just replace this oxygen from O18, from O16 to O18. This will be a radioactive species, right? And after some time it has been found that this contains O18. This ketone contains O18. Now it will be only possible when the attack is taking place. So evidence in favor of the reaction. Evidence in favor of the reaction. Attack of water. Number 1. If O18 is substituted in H2O instead of then after some time ketone obtained contains O18. So what I was telling you, this thing, that basically if it is this, then if I am attacking O18, then yes, we used to get this. This is one evidence. Number 2, this ketone, acetone, there is a considerable steric hindrance. But if suppose I am replacing this CH3 by hydrogen and hydrogen, suppose if I am replacing this by hydrogen and hydrogen, then you will be surprised to know that most of the molecule of this in water does not exist in this form. Rather, this time equilibrium is in the forward direction. That means 2OH at this formaldehyde is quite stable. Very less hindrance is there. And would you like to know about the equilibrium constant for this? The value of equilibrium constant is of the order of 10 to the power 5. Close to the order of 10 to the power 5. You imagine, the ratio of this divided by this is of this order. So almost in water this is present in this. Not only this, the other species, like if we replace CH3 with CF3, this aldehyde, then in water the equilibrium constant is CF3 C double bond OH and OH. This is there. The equilibrium constant here is of the order of 10 to the power 4. Now the surprise will be there. Why, sir? Why is it like that? Is it providing minus I because of that? Answer is no. Apart from minus I, one greater stabilizing factor which you probably might miss is the formation of hydrogen bond, intramolecular hydrogen bond. So trifluoro derivative of that is having equilibrium constant. Like that, even CCl3 also have the same thing. Now I will simply write the equilibrium constant for even this also. So this is very unique when the hydrogen bonding with chlorine is of considerable importance. Here also the hydrogen bonding is present. Both the OHs and here also equilibrium constant is of the order of 10 to the power 4. Close to that. Obviously CF3 will be little better than that. So here also, now if I'll write the equilibrium constant for water addition, I'd like to give some data, useful data for you to remember, to compare this. Aldehyde and ketone. K equilibrium for water addition. So with formaldehyde, the actual value is HCHO. The actual value is 2.88 into 10 to the power 5. Close to that, approximately 2 you can write. With CH3, you just look at just one CH3 replacement on this decreases close to 1. Approximate value I'll say. I will just consider decimal. I'll just consider 1 point. So this value is close to 1. Equilibrium constant. You can see how drastically it decreases. And when you take acetone instead, then just look at this value. This value have decreased approximately 10 to the power minus 3. You can imagine. Now when you are going to consider and replace this aldehyde CH3 with phenyl group, then the phenylic group contribution is again very similar to this ketone only. So let us remove this. Let's go for the other. When I am going to compare this with CF3, these values are close to 10 to the power 4 as I told you. And when it becomes of the order of 10 to the power 4. So in all of these cases you can see the hydrate is quite stable. When the equilibrium constant is equal to 1, then it means 50% left and 50% right, means 50% hydrate is there. When equilibrium constant is more than 100 also, then also the hydrate form is dominating. So other molecule I would like to quote which forms stable hydrate. Other aldehyde and list of aldehyde and ketone which form stable hydrate, right? So आपको मैंने बताया कि ये almost 100%. Then I told you if you go for CF3 C double bond OH या कोई भी हेलोजन डेरिवेटिव, सपोज आपने CCl3 ले लिया, आप इधर भी रख लो CF3, उस साइड में भी रख लो CF3। ये सब लगभग 100% हाइड्रेट फॉर्म में एग्जिस्ट करते हैं। दे आर ऑलमोस्ट 100%। What are the other? I told you about the strain factor, if you remember. Almost 100%. Almost 100%. There is one very special molecule known as ninhydrin. Ninhydrin. This is also. So when you are going to attack water, you look at this once again. It's not only stability through the relief in angular strain. One good advantage here is that it can form intramolecular hydrogen bonding as well. So these are the species where almost you can say 100%, even आपका 4 membered भी यहाँ पे आ जाएगा, almost 100% आपका इनॉल आ रहा है। So इसको अच्छे से याद रखना है सभी लोगों को। So these are the cases where almost 100%। Famous question है ये कि in which of the following cases the hydrate form will be stable or almost 100% it will exist। नेक्स्ट, अब नेक्स्ट न्यूक्लियोफाइल लेते हैं। वाटर का एडिशन तो हो गया, अब नेक्स्ट न्यूक्लियोफाइल लेकर के डिस्कस करते हैं। सो लेट अस डिस्कस अबाउट एडिशन ऑफ ROH, alcohol on aldehyde and ketone। So once again, the moment you are replacing, now if you compare water and ROH, which is better nucleophile? Obviously this water. So if ROH, because of the R group, bulkier R group, if it is a poor nucleophile, so directly if you think that ROH we are adding and we are going to get the product, answer is no, you are not going to get the product. For that you need to first activate, because you have decreased the reactivity of nucleophile, then you have to activate the aldehyde and ketone. So since ROH is a poor nucleophile than water, the carbonyl group has to be protonated to increase the reactivity. So RC double bond, that is the reason why RC double bond OH is treated in dry HCl with ROH. Suppose this one I am taking CH3, then it will form CH3 C. Once again look at the sign, every time I am showing you the equilibrium sign. OH and OR. There is a tendency to come back, so that's why dry HCl is very important. If you simply add water, this will come back to this, right? So this is known as hemiacetal. If aldehyde is there, it is hemiacetal. If it is ketone, then it will be hemiketal. Now further, if you will try to react this with dry HCl and another ROH molecule, then how will it react? It do not have any carbonyl group. Does it have? No. But if you look at this, if I'll show you the mechanism from here, CH3OH and H and OR. Now because HCl can protonate this, so we will get CO, H and H positive and Cl minus, and look at this, OR is there, so it can give a backup. This is now a leaving group, so this will give a backup and this will leave the molecule. And look at this, carbocation is stable also. And oxygen having a positive charge with 8 electron is not a big problem for us. Now thereafter another alcohol can attack. Now look at this, this have become once again the carbonyl group, so it will attack. Now this will do. Right? Now after deprotonation, so now this is known as acetal, means 2 OR group on the same carbon. So what it is going to form, the very first step is simple carbonyl addition, the other one is through the formation of carbocation. So we are going to get O and OR. My dear, please identify this is acetal. Now when it comes to the discussion, acetal to hemiacetal formation from here to here, once again, because this is equilibrium, if you'll add water, obviously you are going to get it back. But acetals are quite stable in basic medium. How they will undergo in the reverse direction? Obviously because of water is having its slight amount of H plus ion, that will provide H plus ion here, it will develop a carbocation. That's how this reaction will turn into the backward direction. But if you suppose decrease H plus ion by the presence of OH minus, then the reverse reaction will not be possible. So once it is formed, in acidic medium, it will turn back. Slight amount of H plus and water, it will give you back, क्योंकि ये reversible है. But in basic medium nothing will happen. So acetals are stable in basic medium. Acetal and ketal are stable in basic medium. Another very important thing is, suppose I took OH and OR. What is this? Hemiacetal. Now what about this? Now if you will take H plus ion and if you will take OH minus, so obviously in H plus ion we are going to get it back. But if you are going to think about this in basic medium, then in basic medium will it be stable? So answer is no, it will not be stable. In basic medium, this can attack and deprotonate hydrogen of oxygen quite readily. This OH minus can, although this reaction is reversible, but this attack is quite fast and reversible. And because this have happened, now look, this is not a very good leaving group, but what is driving factor for this? Because this will form. What is driving factor for this? The driving factor for this is entropy. Now one molecule is actually breaking into two molecules and relieve in angular strain. That's why even OR minus, which is usually not a good leaving group, in fact poor leaving group, but here even that also is moving out from, because it is earlier it is tetrahedral, some strain is there. At the same time, the entropy of this reaction is increasing, the favorability of this reaction is there. So in basic medium, my dear, this will once again break and you are going to get back this aldehyde. RO minus will further become ROH. So this is very important. These 2 points are very important, that in basic medium acetals are stable, hemiacetals are not. In acidic medium both are unstable, both will form this back. Now question based on this used to be formed, जैसे आपको ऐसा दे दिया, can you figure out this? Can you figure out this? Is this acetal or not? तो देखो एसिटल के लिए क्या खास बात था कि वी आर हैविंग 2 OR ग्रुप एट द सेम कार्बन. जस्ट लुक एट दिस, 2 OR group at the same, when on the same carbon. So look at this, we are having 2 oxygen immediately on the oxygen and then this is R group. So this is acetal. अगर आपने यहाँ पे बेसिक मीडियम ले लिया NaOH तो नथिंग विल हैपन. H प्लस ले लिया तो आप ब्रेक कर दो, break this, and what you are going to form ketone. Because how you are going to do, attack H plus here, provide a backup, break it, then basically you got OH over here and double bond positive, and then again attack, and then you will get once again OH here. Right, the final thing that you are going to get is, and then once again protonate this and give a backup and break this. So what you are going to get, CH3C double bond O, CH3H and deprotonate it, and you got this. So that's how you have to do, just reverse of what we did for the formation of that. So we are going to get this along with an alcohol with how many carbon? 1, 2, 3. This we are going to get. But what if it is like this? Suppose the oxygen is removed and a regular bond is formed. And suppose we are having OH. Now, what is this? Once again, you look at the same carbon is attached with this OR and the other is OH. This is hemiacetal. Now, if it is a hemiacetal, then even OH minus or even H plus both will break down this. OH minus will take out this hydrogen, it will attack, and this will leave. So in both of these cases, the product that you are going to get is CH3C double bond O, means यहाँ पे double bond O, and 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon and then OH, CH2 whole thrice, CH2OH. The same product you are going to get even here also. Just check the number of carbon. Is it okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 1, 4, 5 and 6. Yes, everything is okay. So now this is going to form this. So fine, you understood how this reaction used to happen. Now some very important point that you need to note down in this case. Like simple aldehyde does not react. Sorry, simple ketone. Note, there are certain limitation. Note. Simple ketone, RC double bond OR, give a very poor yield. Very poor yield of acetyl and hemiacetyl. क्यों ऐसा होता है आप देखो, खुद से देखो. एक तो क्राउडिंग बढ़ गया, this is almost here, almost 100% on the left side. So this we don't क्योंकि ऐसा क्यों हुआ, क्योंकि आप देखो तो डेल्टा एस इज very less than 0, नेगेटिव है. 3 molecule combining and becoming 1 molecule. Now is it a good case? Answer is no. Then what to do if I want to just treat? Okay, fine, this is not reacting in this way. Whereas if you talk about this cyclic one, especially 5-membered, that will react. That will react with CH3OH and you will get considerable good yield of this product. You are going to get good yield of this. Good yield. Why? Because the steric hindrance is quite minimized in the cyclic compound, and with cyclopentane group, angular strain will also be one of the very important factor. Now, if I want to if I want to make acetyl of this acetone, how to make it? One way of doing that is so simple ketones are converted into acetyl by polyalcoholic ग्रुप. क्या एडवांटेज है पॉलीएल्कोहलिक ग्रुप से? तो पॉलीएल्कोहलिक ग्रुप का मतलब आई वुड लाइक टू टेल यू अबाउट दिस. जैसे से फॉर एग्जांपल आई टुक, तो क्या एडवांटेज है इसका यील्ड अच्छा आएगा. ड्राई HCl, इफ यू टेक ड्राई HCl, so what you are going to get? You will get CH3, CCH3, OCH2, OCH2 and this one. Now one thing is, if you look at in the first reaction, here we had 3 molecule, we are getting 1. Look at here we are having 2 molecule, here we are getting 1. So the decrease in entropy is reduced. The decrease in entropy is reduced. So that is the reason that it do reacts with the polyol group, but it do not reacts nicely with this. I mean, the yield is very poor, whereas the yield in this case is quite better. Right. Now the next part is cyclic. You can go like that and you can make many such cases. Now what is the application of this acetal and hemiacetal formation? Why I am teaching this is, do we have any practical importance of this? Importance of this reaction. Number one, masking of aldehyde and ketone with न्यूक्लियोफाइल्स. एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ. जैसे आपके पास सपोज करो कि यू हैव दिस कीटोन, से फॉर एग्जाम्पल, at the same time you have this aldehyde group, and now you want selectively that your ketone should convert into this. But your aldehyde should not be affected. Or suppose what you want, let us change this because I want to mask now both of them. So suppose you are having a carboxylic acid or some ester. You want that this group should not react with the nucleophile, and you want the whole conversion to happen like this, that ultimately this group should be protected, but you want to reduce this into alcohol. Say for example, I am doing like this. Now how to achieve this? You may think, sir, if you want to reduce this into alcohol, use simply lithium aluminum hydride, LiAlH4. But the problem with LiAlH4 is it is very good nucleophile also, the hydrogen for it. So a nucleophilic attack here will be fast and here it will be slow. And if it is the case, this will reduce this also. How to prevent this? So one of the best way of doing this is, first you mask this. Create a masking. How to mask? Take this polyalcoholic group, dry HCl, and convert this into acetal completely. So now it's a acetal. And once it is acetal, it will not be affected by nucleophile, क्योंकि ये ether जैसा हो गया. Ether are not affected by the nucleophile. Nothing will happen in this case. So my dear, अब आप इसका लिथियम एल्यूमिनियम हाइड्राइड से रिएक्शन करा दो, LaH, LiAlH4, and then you simply add water. So क्या आएगा? आपको ये मास्किंग हो गया. This lithium aluminum hydride will reduce this first into aldehyde, and then ultimately into OH. अब क्या करो? अब आपको वापस लेके आना है, तो आप H+ वाटर यूज कर लो. तो you got this. So this is how we protected this and we made this molecule. So the best way is not to directly use lithium aluminum hydride, rather first protect this group by using this and then attack. So this is very, very important right? Very important when we are doing some conversions. So many such reaction will come and many such reaction we will see. So for today that's enough. For other nucleophile we will see some other day. So that's all everyone. Hope you understood the point. That's all. Thank you.